is going on? There we go. Oh, yeah, it catches me sniffing. There we go. Oh, yeah, it catches me sniffing. Turn that down. Wow. That's okay. How's everybody doing? Jeez. I gotta figure out this tech stuff. Sorry, I was rushing to sit down. I got stuck in the drive-thru. Mercury and Mars. Have patience. Plan ahead as much as you can. I'm sure there's like some sort of, I don't know, like Japanese warrior saying about patience on the battlefield or something. Something like that. Let's check out what's going on with this Aries full moon. So you know what's funny? Like everybody does spring cleaning. I do fall cleaning. Spring starts when, or in the northern hemisphere anyway, spring starts when the sun moves into Aries. And that's when most people are like, oh, clean the house. And, you know, all the stores have the cleaning supplies and the storage containers and all that stuff out. Every year I like to do my big cleaning during the Aries full moon. That's when I like to get things done. It's kind of wild. I picked up on that. I wasn't doing it intentionally. Then I noticed that it was a few years ago. I noticed that it's always right around the Aries full moon. And I'm like, I just want to clean everything out in the house. Use this energy to have this internal reflection or something. Like I want my internal, my home space to feel really good and cleaned out. I feel like it's a moon thing, you know? Maybe I'm just a weirdo. What do you guys like to clean? Do you have a time of the year that you favor for deep cleaning or decluttering? 6th. Oh, this full moon's going to be at night. That's awesome. I hate it when it's during the day and I can't see it exactly. It's going to be going on October 6th. Was that Monday? Planner girl in my planner world. I need my calendar. Yep, Monday at 10:47 p.m. if you're in the Chicago, Memphis Central Time Zone. Let's go hours. I'm pulling the chart up right now. I can't see around my camera. Y'all don't laugh at me. No, it's okay to laugh. I feel like, I don't know. I just turned my planner to the chart. And I feel like this is here's a secret about Scorpio. I know, I tell a lot of Scorpio secrets. It's cool. Scorpios are funny. Scorpios like humor. I forgot why I was telling you this, but it must be important. Oh, laughing at yourself. Yeah. Scorpio gets this rep for very serious, very brooding, right? That's a keyword. That's a Scorpio keyword, brooding. Scorpios appreciate humor, and humor can be very healing for Scorpios. Here's a fun fact. I start my day probably 2 or 3 times a week watching Theo Vaughn, watching his what does he call it? This past weekend on his YouTube. Not necessarily like the podcast type thing where he's talking to somebody, but just I really like it when he talks by himself because his funniness comes out. And I mean, it comes out all the time. It is him. He can't help it. But starting your day with some sort of humor is such a magical thing. Not taking ourselves so seriously. When Mars went into Scorpio early last week, whenever I felt it. Oh my gosh. Anger or anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be anger. It's healthiest if it comes out as anger when your fight or flight gets all riled up, you know? I'm not saying like get angry at people, but I'm saying if you have that emotion and you don't figure out a way to channel it, it's not good. It wreaks havoc on your body. You know, stress is like the number one everything that leads to every health problem. But when you're in that place to get mad about something, like get mad about it, let the anger out. Don't get crazy. Don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt yourself. But it's okay to be mad. Like we have that emotion for a reason. Something I used to have to work with my youngest son a lot about. Like he would say, "Oh, I'm in trouble for being mad." No, you're supposed to get mad. That's just part of life. That's like saying I'm in trouble for breathing. You know, we get mad. But like don't stay in that place. Just kind of get it out, and if you can find some humor in something, find it. I'm preaching. Yeah, you can have that. You're welcome. I didn't mean to preach. Sorry. It's something that helps me. It helps me when I'm feeling down. It helps me when I'm being too hard on myself. It helps me when I'm pissed off. When I want to break something. Humor. Scorpio secrets. What is going on with this? Okay. Let me start screen sharing so you guys can see what I'm looking at. That might be smart, huh? Screen share. Am I good? Okay, cool. Boop. It's the first time I'm really looking at the chart. I accidentally watched part of the full moon stuff on a friend's stream, but I kept part of myself detached so I could get my free flow going. There's a lot of fire with this full moon, not just because it's in Aries. Like here's the moon up here at 14 degrees in Aries. And we've got our sun down here, 14 degrees Libra. So the sun is fire and Aries is fire. And Aries is ruled by Mars, which is fire in Scorpio. And I know Scorpio is water, but that's what makes Mars ruling it so magical. How do you need to fight for yourself? Not in a like I'm gonna stand up and shout at the world type way, but oh, okay, hang on. I'm trying to think of how to put it. It's like a feeling. Sometimes it's hard to put feelings into words, and you got like this big thought cloud going on, and you're trying to articulate it and structure it. So sometimes when things are not going our way, like I'm in the drive-through, I need to get home, I've got a live stream to start, I've got stuff to do, I have a life to live. The drive-through was moving really slow. The fair is in town, and it's very close to our house, and traffic is crazy. And I feel like I went to McDonald's. I know, terrible. I feel like they were a little bit understaffed, and that sucks because the employees are doing what they can, and I mean they were hustling. They were hustling, and they were so nice and polite. Sitting there in the drive-through, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. And there's 2 lanes. I was in the second lane. In the first lane, like 3 orders were taken before they got to me. And I was like, okay, well maybe this speaker is broken and that's why everything's moving so slow. So I just pulled up to the window. And I asked him, I was like, is your speaker broken back there? And he's like, no, it's just me. And he goes into full like customer service mode, and I recognize that because I worked in the restaurant industry. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump line or anything. Anyways, sitting there without moving, watching everybody skip me could have turned into something so frustrating. And it started to. I had to catch myself. I had to put on my 50 cent and just chill for a minute. Because that's not a them problem. That's a me problem. A few years ago, I may not have pulled up. I may have just pulled around and went inside and said, hey, this is my order, and just pretended like the whole thing didn't happen and stay out of the way type thing. Made myself very small and invisible. But I asserted myself by pulling up and saying, hey, I think there may be a problem, or is there a problem? I need to be taken care of. So you want to learn that balance of like when to assert yourself and when to not assert yourself. Like how far do you go? Understand that there's always something that you can do to have control in this situation. When we start feeling like we need to err at other people, sometimes we just need to and like balance ourselves, right? Regulate ourselves. Where is Venus? Venus has been just all in the business these last couple of moons, I feel like. Okay, Venus is on the south node down here. So I would say, what are some ways you haven't been regulating yourself very well? What are some ways when instead of self-reflecting, instead of being self-aware, which is what the moon teaches us to be, and Virgo, Mercury and Virgo, that's where the self-awareness really happens. Okay, I gotta talk about Mercury for a second, and I promise it's all gonna come together. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, right? Psychologically, developmentally speaking, Gemini is where we use Mercury to learn language, to learn how to, it's where our perception starts working really well, like when we're infants. It's how we learn language. It's how we learn to communicate. It's how we learn to move through the world and facilitate ourselves into the world, right? Around the world to do that mutable thing. But it's all about what is being presented to you. Like, the source of information is coming from the world around you, from outside of you. In Virgo, when Mercury goes to Virgo, it flips. It's Mercury's reflection, and it's such a beautiful thing. Ugh, I have such a fondness for Mercury. Because now the source of information is internal, and it allows you to become self-aware. Because remember, Mercury is mutable. Mercury is as close to neutral as you can get. In a lot of cases, Mercury is the neutral planet, right? It's not this way or this way. It's not internal or external. It's everything. It's both. Mercury goes where he wants to go, whenever he wants to go there. So the self-awareness that comes from the Virgo place, if you add that with the moon, the full moon, because we've got the full reflection of the sun's light right now, and the sun is in Libra, don't forget. How can we first get to a place where we can self-reflect, where we can become self-aware in a very objective way and balance that? I know Libra is like balance, 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 but Libra is also an external sign. It's a masculine sign. So the source of the information is like outside of it, right? The source of whatever is being balanced is outside. You're balancing yourself with something outside of you. This integration has to happen. With your sun representing like your personality, the part of you that you present to the world, right? Your outward expression of personality. Being in that place of balance, let who you are on the outside reflect who you are on the inside. But where do you need to assert yourself? Don't default to what's outside of you. That could look like, oh, just whatever you want, that kind of thing. But I don't feel like that's what's going on with this full moon. Just because of the whole, like, it's a full moon in Aries, so it's an Aries thing and it's a Mars thing. Instead of just, oh, whatever you want, it's more like, so it's almost like, where's your locus of control? Understand that your locus of control should be within you. That's where it is. You decide where you move in the world and how you move in the world. It really feels like doing the self-awareness thing in order to have more agency in your own life. Yeah, this feels like it's about agency. I wrote some notes down about that. So agency is your capability to make choices and direct yourself in the world, to make decisions and do the things. These guys are so, like, this whole little something about this is doing a thing. How many degrees is that? Oh, okay, yeah, it's, oh, so it's not quite a, yep. That's interesting. So Venus and Mars are about 50 degrees apart. Right. And then you've got the sun smack dab in the middle. So that makes almost like an apex up here with the moon. And we're doing this Mars-Venus thing again. Only this time we're really... You know how when sometimes you lash out at somebody, like you react? You don't mean to, you just react because that's what Mars does. You feel really bad after, like you immediately are like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's kind of what this feels like. But here's what you do with that, because you always have choices, right? Every feeling you have, every thought you have, everything, you have a choice as to which way to go. A lot of times we get defensive when we feel bad. Like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I feel bad for it. Well, you shouldn't have been cutting me off in traffic, or McDonald's should have had more staff. They knew the fair was coming, you know? It's okay to just be like, my bad, I'm sorry. Because we all have those days, right? We all have those days. And if you come across somebody who's having one of those days, then just, it's cool, man. It's cool. No hard feelings, right? No hard feelings. Because, geez Louise, here comes Mercury getting close to Mars. Okay, so some astrologers say that 10 degrees is a conjunction. If two planets are 10 degrees apart, then that's a conjunction. Like a degree-based conjunction, not just like a sign-based conjunction. That's a little much for me, unless we're talking about like bigger or more potent energies. I feel like this is not enough to be a conjunction, but Mercury moves very quickly. Definitely moves faster than Mars. So a day, let me just look at this. I don't normally do this, but I just want to see. Yeah, so Mercury's going to catch up to Mars in the next week or so. Be careful with how you treat people. I know that sounds terrible. I'm talking about other people a lot. Normally it's more like self-reflection type stuff, like actual moon type things. But be careful. Be careful how you react to people. And if you do react poorly, that's okay. Forgive yourself and let them know, hey, I didn't mean to do that. Jupiter. Yeah, see, another thing about Libra is that, like, who is worthy of you type energy, who is worthy to be your partner, and making yourself a worthy partner. Gosh, it almost feels like the sun is reflecting the moon instead of vice versa. I guess if you want to be proactive about it, that could be a way to look at it, like trying to catch yourself before, or trying to do the work ahead of time to prepare, or like the self work, you know, the shadow work, whatever you want to call it. So you're better able to recognize when you get in one of these situations. Jeez. See, I was listening to 50 Cent. One of the lyrics is, I know where I'm headed because I know where I've been. Song lyrics like catch my attention at just the right time. And today's been one of those days where certain things have just been like, hey, lights, this thing. Because sometimes naturally, normally, whatever, most of the time we react and then we can catch ourselves and say, I'm sorry or whatever. But the more aware you are, I'm not saying that, oh, you need to be aware that this is going to happen to you, but the more aware you are of your own nature, how you naturally react to things when you're frustrated, when somebody makes you mad, like, you know how your fight or flight is, the more you know yourself in that regard, the more self-awareness you have, the better it makes everything moving forward, right? Because you know emotional intelligence and all that stuff. And you know because you've reacted this way before. So if you know you have a tendency to react this way, and you know you're going into a situation where you might react this way, either do something to calm yourself down or try to calm yourself, prepare your calmness for whatever's coming up, or don't put yourself in that situation if you can help it. That's what self-awareness is for, right? It's to help us be better moving forward, to help us know what's going on right now, to know what's happened before so we can know where we need to go, what we need to do. Man, Mars just feels like so Earth. And not just because it's right in the middle of my everything. Mars is all up in my business right now. Know your internal power, agency. Don't abuse it. Use it to almost like feel powerful, feel like you're in control. That's almost what it feels like, because it feels like the sun in Libra is pulling on that. Like, don't be out of control with all that crazy Aries, wild, passionate energy, life force itself. Balance it, like shape it, give it a little bit of, so it can, like a battery, like when you charge a battery and it's like fully charged, or something about having that life force energy just perfectly balanced, like just sitting there floating in the middle of all this air and whatever else is around it. It's just, if you can get that picture, just like this ball of energy in the middle of a space, and it's just like so incredibly powerful, and all the potential and it can do anything. It's like power itself is just there, and it's good. It's there if it needs it, and it uses it intentionally. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. And it feels like the sun in Libra is doing like this, making it more intentional. Yeah, with Venus and Mars balanced on each side of the sun, it feels like they're saying, hey, let's use our life force intentionally, use our passion intentionally. There's a good one for Aries and Mars and Scorpio. They don't know anything about passion, do they? Yeah, use your passion intentionally, I would say, sums up this whole thing. How can you be more intentionally passionate? How can you be more intentional with your passion? I was talking about Mars and Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio traditionally. And in the same way Mercury does that really amazing flip thing from Gemini to Virgo, Mars does the same thing from Aries to Scorpio. So it takes the source of information, the source of input from the external part, from outside of you, from the world, and brings it internally. So your source of information, your source of input is coming from within. So instead of using Mars to like fight everything off or to react to things around you, you're using Mars to fuel your own self. It's almost like a rebirth or something. And it's wild because the way the planets have been moving, like the aspects to the moons we've been having the last few months, it's like preparation for this thing, preparation for being yourself, being with a capital B and self with a capital S. You know, it's like we're thinking about what we really want, what we really need, what we can do without. And now we're starting to express that. We're starting to channel it. We're starting to do the work, the action that comes along with that. We've done all the things that we can do. Now it's time to test the waters a little bit, to test our agency. And I like it. What do you guys think about it? There's really not a lot of other aspects to look at. I'm gonna use this old TV for a monitor. I need a new monitor. I'm so cheap sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm so cheap. I'm like, no, that works just fine. Just leave it alone. But when I'm looking at the monitor with my eyeballs, it's kind of squished a little bit. It does that sometimes. So I'm also using my planner, my honeycomb planner that I printed out. Let me look at that, because I'm not seeing any crazy aspects here, but it's a little distorted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, we've got the outer planets doing the thing that they're doing. Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. That's going to be that way for a minute. It's sort of like the tone. I feel like they're setting the tone, the outer planets, for all of this work that we're doing with our inner planets. It's just a reminder that Venus and Mars are like your, I'm going to be nerdy for a second. They're like your nervous system. Your Mars is your sympathetic nervous system, and Venus is your parasympathetic nervous system. I did a video on that. It's really nerdy, but it's also so incredibly fascinating and cool. And how Mars is the hinge. I mean, not Mars. Mercury is the hinge for that. You should go check that out. Mars is what, like, and Venus is like what? Ugh. Mars is fight or flight. Venus is rest and digest. And Mercury is the hinge that controls which way the balance goes. And look how prominent they are with this. Oh, I will say this. What doesn't calm you down? Know what doesn't calm you down. Just because the South Node is right there with Venus. It's conjunct with Venus. Know what doesn't calm you down. So, when I was really figuring out what I wanted to do with my life, like when I was like, all of these jobs are just, no, I don't like working for this job. Even though, it pays really well. This is a great job, title, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't like doing that. I think if I get offered another job like that, I'm going to say no. I learned what I didn't like, what I didn't want as an adult, anyways, a long time before I started figuring out what I do want. So use that Venus South Node thing to know what you don't like, what doesn't calm you down, what doesn't feel good, what is not aesthetically pleasing to you, what doesn't feel good, smell good, sound good, look good, taste good, and know when to avoid those things. Yeah. Mars in Scorpio always makes me think of autoimmune disease, probably because, like, I have an autoimmune thing, and it's like, can my body just stop fighting itself for a minute? There are some things that I really like tiramisu and cinnamon rolls and really bread desserts, that I cannot have those, even though I really enjoy them. So here's something to think about too with this Venus-Mars thing. Even if it's something that does calm you down and it smells good and it tastes good and it just feels perfect, that's just right now. What's going to happen? How's that going to balance with you later? It feels good right now, but is it worth not feeling good later? So don't be tricked by what feels good, by what calms you down, by what makes you feel good. Because is it going to keep making you feel good? Is it truly helping you? Is it sustaining you? Is it feeding you? That's what we should be using our Venus for, to find things and people and a life that sustains us. I think that's all I have, guys. What did you think about that? Did you see anything that I'm not seeing? Were you like, I don't know about that? Maybe it's kind of, let me know. I want to hear about it. Talk astrology with me. Talk astrology to me. Sorry. I'm going to calm down. Too much stuff. It's Scorpio season. It's Scorpio Eve, okay? October 1st to me is Scorpio Eve, and we've got planets there, so it's valid. That's my truth, my personal truth. That's not the truth of reality. Yeah, I'm excited for all the Scorpio stuff coming up. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna go do some like mom stuff and all that. Let me know what you guys thought about this one, because this one, man, this energy feels so different from the last one, especially coming off those eclipses. But it feels good. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it make you freeze. Yeah. Take care. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate you being here.